Hello friends, my name is Vanshika. Today I am going to explain you about a poetry named Daffodils. As many students are facing problems to understand this, now you need not to worry as I am there to help you. So before starting, please subscribe my channel, like, comment and share. First we will talk about the poet. This poem was written by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was a poet. It was he who railed for the use of everyday language, common people, and things in poetry. Wordsworth was a great lover of nature, and this poem was inspired by a real life experience. This well known poem is a eulogy to the restorative powers of nature. Now, let's begin with the poetry Daffodils by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. Here, in the first stanza, it means that the poet himself was wandering him as a cloud that floats on high over hills and vales. Guys, here wandering means to travel aimlessly from place to place, and vales is defined as a poetic term. Another name for vales is valley. So, the poet was wandering himself means he was imagining himself as a cloud which was floating very high in the sky over hills and valleys. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. While floating high in the sky over hills and valleys, the poet saw a host of golden daffodils which means a crowd of golden daffodils. Why daffodils are here referred to as golden? They are referred to as golden as daffodils are yellow in color and the sun is shining brightly, so the sun's rays falling on the daffodils made them sparkling golden in color. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. This means that when the poet, as a cloud in the sky, saw a crowd of daffodils, he saw that daffodils were located near the lake and beneath the trees. Beneath means at a lower level or extending or direct underneath. So daffodils were located near the lake and beneath the trees, and they were fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Guys, they here refers to as daffodils, and as the wind was blowing, so it seems that by the wind's pressure daffodils were also dancing and fluttering. Fluttering here means moving with a light, irregular or trembling motion. So daffodils seems dancing and fluttering in the breeze. Here we have finished first stanza. Hope you all have understood. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. The second stanza begins with the comparison between the daffodils along the lake and the stars in the Milky Way. It means that the poet saw many daffodils, like thousands of daffodils, that shine because of sun rays, which is similar to thousands of stars in the sky, which shine and twinkle in the Milky Way. Here, lake is compared to Milky Way, as beside the lakes there were many daffodils. Similarly, in Milky Way there are thousands of stars. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. The poet says that the daffodils stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. The bay here refers to lake. According to the poet, the daffodils which covered the shore of the lake seemed to be unending like the stars in the sky, and like them, the stars of Milky Way, they were too twinkling. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. This means that there were many daffodils in unending line at once. When the poet saw the daffodils, it means that there were 10,000 daffodils. The phrase 10,000 saw I at a glance is a hyperbole. The daffodils were tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The word head here refers to the top part of the plant. Sprightly dance means lively and jubilant dance. The daffodils were thus moving their heads in a rhythm which looked quite amazing and seemed to the poet as they were dancing. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. In the third stanza, the poet brings in the waves waving in the lake. The poet says that the waves beside them danced, but they. This line means that there were waves too seemed to be dancing in the lake, but the joyful dance of the daffodils were much better than theirs. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. And for the poet, their joyful company was an ultimate source. Poet, along with the daffodils, was enjoying. Observing the daffodils made him felt pleasure. These lines somehow reflect the ideas of the Romantic age and its theme returned to its nature. The ultimate source of joy for romantics was nature. Hence, in the poem, the poet concludes that seeing the daffodils dancing along the lake in the dream of every poet, including him. The poet I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. This means that the poet gazed and gazed, means that the poet kept staring and staring, that is, kept looking to the daffodils and their dance. He could not fully appreciate the scenery before him. Wealth here means happiness. Nature and beauty was the ultimate wealth, and because it was in an abundance, for often when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood. This means that when the poet lie on his couch, a sofa type or a kind of bench, when he lie in vacant means empty mood or in pensive means sorrowful mood, the memories of these daffodils flash upon his inward eye. That is spiritual or romantic vision. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. This their memory then becomes the source of joy in his solitude. His heart then filled with pleasure and dances with the daffodils. Thus, the memory of the daffodils becomes his companion solitude, and taking away all his sorrows and boredom makes his spirit dance. In this poem, the rhyming scheme is A B C C, and the main theme is the beauty of the nature. Guys, the figures of speech in this daffodils poem is first simile, in which it concludes lonely as a cloud, as the stars that shine. Hyperbole, 10,000 saw I at a glance, stretched in never-ending line. Personification means a crowd or a host of golden daffodils dancing in the breeze and inward eye. And alliteration means, like in the first paragraph, second line, that floats on high over vales and hills. Here, H is repeating 2 times. So, it is called alliteration. Guys, I hope that you all like the video and hope you understand. If any doubt, please share in the comment box. Thank you.